UPSC syllabus. Paper second, General Studies first. Indian heritage and culture, history and geography of the world and society. Syllabus prescribed by UPSC. Point number first, Indian culture will cover the silent aspects of arts, form, literature and architecture from ancient to modern times. Point number second, modern Indian history from about the middle of the 18th century until the present, significant events, personalities, issues. Point number third, the freedom struggle, its various stages and important contributions from different parts of the country. Point number four, post-independence consolidation and reorganization within the country. Point number 5, history of the world will include events from 18th century such as industrial revolution, world wars, withdrawal of national boundaries, colonization, decolonization, political philosophies like communism, capitalism, socialism, etc., their forms and effects on the society. Point number 6, silent features of Indian society, diversity of India. Point number 7, role of women and women's organization, population and associated issues, poverty and developmental issues, urbanization, their problems and their remedies. Point number 8, effects of globalization on Indian society. Point number 9, social empowerment, communalism, regionalism and secularism. Point number 10, silent features of world's physical geography. Point number 11, distribution of key natural resources across the world including South Asia and the Indian subcontinent, factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world including India. Point number 12, important geophysical phenomena such as earthquakes, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone, etc., geographical features and their location, changes in critical geographical features including water bodies and ice caps and in flora and fauna and the effects of such changes. Syllabus decoded. Art and culture plus ancient and medieval history, significance of art heritage, threat to cultural heritage, tools of reconstruction of history, ancient history, prehistoric cultures in India, Paleolithic culture, Mesolithic culture, Neolithic culture, Paleolithic culture, Iron Age, pottery and cave paintings, Indus Valley civilization, Harappa culture, extent and origin, important towns and cities, town planning and material, pottery, bronze figures, seals, scientific knowledge, writing material, political life, religious life, mother goddess, Pashupati Shiva, animal worship, tree worship, worship associated with the fire, burial practices, economic life, trade, agriculture, handicrafts, means of transportation, decline, post-Harappan culture, survival and continuity, Vedic and later Vedic culture, origin of Vedic culture, Vedic literature, Vedas, Brahmanas, Arankyas, Upanishads, allied Vedic literature, Smritis, Vedangas, Darshanas, Upavedas, geographical data in Vedic text, country, mountains, rivers, sea deserts, Vedic tribes, religious life, religious ideas, rituals in Vedic age, sacrifices, fire cult, nature and classification of Vedic gods, Vedic philosophy, Vedic polity, concept of kingship, tribal assemblies, Vidhata, Sabha, Samiti, later Vedic polity, Vedic society, social divisions, Varna system, marriage and woman, education, social change in later Vedic period, Vedic economy, trade, commerce, art, craft, agriculture, cattle rearing, comparison between Harappan culture and Vedic culture, similarities and differences, early state formation and urbanization, Mahajan Padas, causes of rise, nature of urbanization and rise of new cities, changes in society, rise of caste system and rise of heterodox sects, Jainism, Buddhism, Ajvikism, religious movements, causes behind rise of Jainism and Buddhism, Jainism, background, Vardhaman Mahavira and his teachings, sects of Jainism, Jain perspectives and philosophy, Jain literature, contribution to society and Indian culture, patron and significant personalities associated with Jainism, decline and its causes, Buddhism background, Gautam Buddha and his teachings, Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist Sangha and sects, Buddhist councils, Buddhist literature and scriptures, contribution to society and Indian culture, patron and significant personalities associated with Buddhism, decline and its causes, Jainism and Buddhism, comparison, Bhagavatism, Brahminism, Shaivism, Shaktism, Mauryan history, sources of Mauryan history, prominent Mauryan kings and their policies, Ashoka's Dhamma, administration of Maurya, social condition of Maurya era, economic condition of Maurya era, Mauryan art, rock cut architecture, Ashokan pillars, decline and causes, post-Mauryan India, Sanghas, Satvahans, foreign invaders, Indo-Greeks, Shakas, Parthians, Kushans, post-Mauryan administration, contacts with outside worlds, economy, trade and agriculture, society, evolution and proliferation of jatis, architecture, secular and religious architectures, sculpture, Gandhara, Mathura and Amravati school of art, paintings, language, scripts and literature, science and technology, Gupta era, the golden age, foundation, prominent Gupta kings and their policies, achievements, personality of Samudragupta, Napoleon of India, house of Pushyabhuti, Harsha and his policies, Pallavas and Chalukyas, prominent kings and their policies and achievements, political organization, economic condition, growth of Sherni guilds, literature, architecture, temple style, Nagara style, Vasara style, Dravida style, Hoysala style, society, caste system, marriage and family system, South Indian history, Sangam history, social, economic and political life, Sangam literature, megalithic culture, medieval history, shift from ancient to medieval, prominent changes and causes, important dynasties and Turkey invasions, social conditions of early medieval India, literature, lexica, dharmashastras, tantra, treatise, dharma, grammar, science and medicine, South Indian in early medieval times, important king and their policies from Rashtrakuta and Chola dynasties, Chola, rural administration, significance of South Indian temples, contribution of Shankaracharya to Indian philosophy, Delhi Sultanate, background and dynastic history, important sultanates and their policies, achievements, Alauddin Khilji's administrative, military and market reforms, administration of Delhi Sultanate, theory of state, idea of kingship, nobility, relations with ulema, central and provisional government, military organization, law and order, police and justice, economy of Delhi Sultanate, agrarian condition, revenue system, Vijayanagar Empire, important kings and their possible policies and achievements, administration, local governance, social life, caste and class, position of women, Indo-Islamic culture, combined features, art and horticulture, language and literature, painting, music, Sufism, origin and features, thoughts and philosophy, prominent Sufi sons and Sufi orders, Silas, contribution to Indian culture, Bhaktism, origin and features, Bhakti Sants and reforms, contribution of Indian culture, Mughal Empire, foundation, Mughal kings, their philosophies and achievements, Akbar's measures and contribution to Indian culture, Mughal administration, economic policies of Mughals, fiscal system, Mansabdari system, Jahagirdari system, agrarian condition, land revenue system, Zapti, the Hasala system, Mughal architecture, Mughal school of painting, literature, music, decline of Mughal empire, beginning of European commerce, favorable conditions in India, socio-economic impacts, Deccan and South India, contribution of Deccan sultanates to Indian culture, Maratha rule, modern India, freedom struggle. Approaches to the history of modern India, colonial approach, nationalist approach, Marxist approach, subaltern approach, communalist approach, decline of Mughals and political condition of the time, East India Company establishment and spreading its roots in Bengal, causes of British success in India, Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar, dual government of Bengal, resistance from provincial powers, Mysore, Marathas, Sikhs, administrative policies of British, policy of ring fence, subsidiary alliance, doctrine of lapse, policy of mysteryly inactivity, policy of proud reserve, economic impact of British rule Indian economy during first half of the 18th century, transformation of Indian economy into colonial economy, stages of British colonialism, economic impact of British rule, impact on agriculture, zamindari, rayatwari and mahalwari system, growth of poverty, decline of village industries and town handicrafts, deindustrialization, growth of foreign capital, growing in unemployment, drain of wealth, resistance of British rule, early uprising, politico-religious movements, Fakir uprising, Sannyasi uprising, Pagal Panthis, Tariqah-e Muhammadiyya, Wahhabi movement, Faraiji movement, Yuka revolt, Moplah rebellions, movements by the deposed rulers and zamindars, Veluthampi, Kittur, Channamma, Vishakhapatnam revolts, Ganjam rebellion, Bandela Rajput rebellion, Tondji Wagh and Dharrao's Band, Polygar rebellions, Paika rebellion, movement by the dependents of the deposed rulers, Ramoshi uprising, Gadkari uprising, Sawantwadi revolt, tribal movement, nature and causes, movement by non-frontier tribes, first phase, Paharia uprising, Kol and Ho uprising, Santhal rebellion, second phase, Karwar uprising, Kisan uprising, Naikada movement, Bhil uprising, Bhuyan uprising, Bastar uprising, Koya rebellion, Munda uprising, third phase, Tana Bhagat movements, Chenchu tribal movements, Rama rebellion, Forest Satyagraha, Jharkhand movement by frontier tribes, Singop's rebellion, Kuki revolt, Rani Gendin Lia's Naga movement, the revolt of 1857, causes, outbreak, prominent leaders and suppression, reasons of defeat, impact, consequences of revolt, debates over the nature of the revolt, social and cultural awakening, social changes in modern India, causes of social and cultural awakening, socio-religious reform movement, Rajaram Mohan Rai and Brahmo Samaj and its offshoot, Young Bengal movement, reforms by Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Satya Shodhak Samaj, Prarthana Samaj, Veda Samaj, Arya Samaj and Dayanand Anglo-Vedic movement, Shuddhi movement, Vivekananda and Ramakrishna mission, Seva Sadan, Sri Narayan Guru Dharma Paripalana, SNDP movement, रहनुमाई, मजदया, सनन सभा, लोअर एंड बैकवर्ड क्लास मूवमेंट्स, अरवीपुरम मूवमेंट, टेम्पल एंट्री मूवमेंट, नायर सर्विस सोसाइटी, भुजान समाज मूवमेंट, आदि मूवमेंट, कांग्रेस एंड हरिजन मूवमेंट, जस्टिस पार्टी मूवमेंट, सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट मूवमेंट, सिख मूवमेंट्स, निरंकारी मूवमेंट, नामधारी मूवमेंट, सिंह सभा, गुरुद्वारा रिफॉर्म मूवमेंट, मूवमेंट फॉर emancipation of women, Islamic reforms movement, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and Aligarh movement, Ahmadiyya movement, Deoband movement, peasant movements, Indigo rights, Deccan rights, Pabna agrarian unrest, no revenue movements, Champaran Indigo Satyagraha, Kheda Satyagraha, Bardoli Satyagraha, Kisan and Ika movements, All Indian Kisan Sabha, Trade Union movement, beginning of working class movement in India, All India Trade Union Congress, AITUC, freedom struggle, nature and timeline of freedom movement, causes for the rise of the national movement, growth of political ideas and political organization up to 1885, foundation of Indian National Congress 1885. Factors responsible: safety valve theory, moderate phase, main objective, methods and prominent leaders, evaluation of work, rise of extremism, neo-nationalism, causes, factors responsible, methods and prominent leaders, first phase of revolutionary terrorism, petition of Bengal 1905, Swadeshi movement and its significance, Surat split and its impact on freedom movement, foundation of All India Muslim League, causes, agenda and British attitude, Morley Minto reforms 1909, separate electorate, Delhi Darbar and annulment of partition of Bengal, First World War and its impact on India, Lucknow Pact, why and long-term impact, Home Rule movement, Montagu Declaration and reaction of INC to it, Montagu-Chelmsford reforms 1919, Dargi, beginning of Gandhian era, Gandhi in South Africa, nationalist resurgence, causes, revolt act and anti-revolt, Satyagraha, Jallianwala Bagh, Massacre, Khilafat movement, non-cooperation movement, Main demands, progress of the movement, appraisal of the movement, the Swaraj Party and no changes, changers, controversy, other political parties and movements of the time, All India Liberal League, All Indian Khilafat Committee, Justice Party, Unionist Party, Hindu Mahasabha, Akali movement, Nagpur flag Satyagraha, Vehicom Satyagraha, left movement, second phase of revolutionary terrorism, Simon Commission, Nehru report, 14 points of Jinnah, demand of Purna Swaraj, civil disobedience movement, Dandi March program, progress of the movement, Gandhi Irvin Pact, second round table conference, second phase of civic disobedience movement, communal award and Pune Pact, assessment of civil disobedience movement, third round table conference and the government of India at 1935, provisions, political reaction, provincial elections and formation of ministries, ideological rift in Congress, Gandhi versus Subhash Chandra Bose, struggle in princely status, the Praja Mandal movement, rise of extreme communalism, causes, demands, impact towards freedom, World War II and nationalist response, August offer 1940, individual Satyagraha, Cripps proposal and its political reaction, Quit India movement, agenda, progress, evaluation, Azad Hind Fauj, Raja Gopalchari formula, Desai liquid fact, Liaquat fact, ratings mutiny, Wavell plan, Muslim Lineage got veto, election of 1945, outcome and formation of ministries and interim government, cabinet mission provisions and its political reaction, direct action day by Muslim lineage, formation of constituent assembly, at least declaration, why June 3rd plan, the Indian Independence Act, the divided freedom, why Congress accepted partition, constitutional, administrative, and judicial developments during British rule, development of Indian press, development of education, post-independence history, nation building process after partition, situation after the partition, challenges ahead, communal holocaust, integration of princely status, reorganization of status, issue of official language, linguistic reorganization and issue of linguistic minorities, tribal colonization, regional aspiration, regionalism and regional identity, rehabilitation of refugees, revolution of foreign policy, non-alignment movement, Panchashil, wars with Pakistan, war with China, links with outer world, policy towards Africa, UNO and Central Asia, nuclear doctrine, Gujarat doctrine, Locust and Act East policy, politics in states, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Jammu and Kashmir, West Bengal, Punjab, Khalistan issue, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Naxalism, caste, untouchability and anti-caste politics, political development, one party dominance, emergence of opposition, rise of regional parties, coalition era, JP movement and emergency economic development, 5-year plans and planned economy, industrial reforms, trade scenario, agriculture development, agriculture before green revolution, land reforms and aftermath, Bhudan and Gramdan movement, green revolution, causes, factors, components and impacts, other agri-related developments, watershed development program, white revolution, operation flood, growth of cooperatives, causes, factors, progress, evaluation, LPG reforms of 1991, reasons, processes, evaluation, social development, Indian women since independence, communalism in society, demographic changes, health, literacy, employment, migration, workforce, participation, etc. World history, era of enlightenment and modern ideas, Renaissance, meaning and major ideas, causes, characteristics of Renaissance, major developments during Renaissance, controversies about Renaissance, expansion of enlightenment outside Europe, rise of idea of nation state in Europe, base for rise of nation state system, Europe towards democratic government, American revolution, condition of American colonies before revolution, causes of American revolution, significant event, constitution of America, causes of failure of British, nature of revolution, freedom struggle of or revolution, significance of American Revolution, impacts on society, polity, economy and world, French Revolution, condition of French before Revolution, political setup, social setup, economic setup, causes of French Revolution, significant events of Revolution, rise of Napoleon, causes of Napoleon's rise, reforms and initiated by Napoleon's efforts to thumb superiority in Europe, causes of downfall of Napoleon, evaluation, significance of Napoleonic era, celebrities, personalities of the revolution, significance of the French Revolution in world history, American Civil War, internal conflicts in America, causes of Civil War, significant events, role of Abraham Lincoln, outcome of Civil War, significance in world history. Industrial Revolution, causes of Industrial Revolution in England, why England, significant developments in agriculture, developments in transportation and communication, developments in production, effects of Industrial Revolution, economic, social, political, rise of Marxism, communism and socialism, effects on ideology, Industrial Revolution in other countries, USA, Germany, Russia, Japan, unification of Italy and Germany, hurdles against unification, elements favorable to unification, process of unification, appraisal of unification, comparison of process of unification of Italy and Germany, colonialism and imperialism, causes of development of colonialism and imperialism, circumstances favorable to imperialism in Asia, Africa and South America, imperialism in China, Anglo-Chinese relations, opium wars, causes and impacts, new colonialism, free trade, Russian Revolution, Bolshevik Revolution, condition of Russia before revolution, causes of Russian Revolution, significant events, outcome, result, impact of Russian Revolution, Chinese Revolution, condition of China before revolution, causes of Chinese Revolution, revolution, significant events, outcome, result, impact of Chinese Revolution, World War I, political situation on the eve of the World War I, causes, significant events, impacts of war, fascist counter-revolution of Italy and Germany, establishment of fascist government in Italy and Nazism in Germany, effects to improve economic condition of Italy and Germany, philosophy of fascism and Nazism, characteristic of fascism and Nazism, means of fascism and Nazism, foreign policy of fascism and Nazism, World War II, political situation on the eve of the World War II, causes, significant effects, impacts of war, Cold War, origin of Cold War, meaning and definitions, causes of Cold War, stages of Cold War, nature of Cold War, significant events, impact of Cold War, Soviet disintegration, factors behind the collapse of USSR, political changes in Eastern Europe, unipolar world. Indian society, silent features of Indian society, society meaning definition, features of Indian society, caste system meaning and status, caste system amusing new identities, reasons for perpetuity, rigidity and pervasiveness of caste system, efforts in diluting caste system, affirmative action, arguments in favor, arguments against, reservation, evaluation, reservation in promotions, reservation to women, reservation to minorities, reservation based on economic criteria, EWS, changes in Indian society over the period of time, diversity of India, basis of diversity, distribution of diversity, reasons for diversity, advantages of diversity, disadvantages of diversity, unity in diversity, threats in diversity, way forward. Role of women and women's organization. What are women's organization? Indicators of women's status in India, issues associated with women, role of women's organization in elevating the status of women, problems faced by women's organization, government efforts and their assessment, measures need to be taken, population and associated issues, demographic attributes, BR, DR, IMR, MMR, TFR, literacy, life expectancy, migration, workforce participation, sex ratio, age structure, trends of population growth, causes of population growth, consequences of population growth, measures to control issues associated with aging population, shift in demographic dividend, concept and status, potential issues, solutions, poverty and developmental issues. Poverty and developmental issues, concept, status and data, spread of poverty, types of poverty, rural and urban poverty, absolute and relative poverty, seasonal and permanent poverty, feminization of poverty, measurement methods, poverty line, causes of poverty, dynamic nature of poverty, impact, consequences of poverty, various alleviation approaches, link between poverty and development, urbanization, their problems and their remedies, urbanization concept, definition, trends and current status in India, causes of urbanization, challenges posed by urbanization. Speedy process of urbanization, benefits and issues associated, growth of cities as IT hubs, benefits and issues associated, solution, remedies, effects of globalization on Indian society, concept of globalization, impact, economic, cultural, social, environmental, political on vulnerable sections, women, physically disabled, tribals, elderly, children, farmers, global versus local debate. Social empowerment, concept of social empowerment, necessity of social empowerment, issues in bringing in social empowerment, impact of lack of social empowerment, how to bring in social empowerment, assessment of various government initiatives, communalism, concept and meaning, characteristics, comparison between religiosity and communalism, historical background, causes, consequences, recent incidents, measures to control and eradicate regionalism, concept and meaning of region and regionalism, characteristics and forms of regionalism, current status in India, historical background, causes, consequences, measures to counter regionalism, smaller states versus larger states, debate, secularism, concept and Indian model, need of secularism, problems in achieving secularism, critique of secularism, how to develop Indian brand of secularism, geography. Basic concept of geography, structure of the interior of the earth, continental drift theory, plate tectonics theory, earth's movement, geographic process, endogenic process, faulting, exogenic process, weathering, erosion, mass movement, rocks and rocky cycle, volcanicity and volcanic cause, earthquakes, tsunami, geosynclines and mountain building, cycle of erosion and rejuvenation and associated landforms, river cycle of erosion, wind cycle of erosion, glacial cycle of erosion, wave cycle of erosion, and karst topography, drainage system and drainage pattern, oceanography, reliefs of ocean basis, temperature, density and salinity of ocean water, ocean tides, ocean currents, coral reefs, marine resources, climatology, composition structure of atmosphere, insolation and heat budget, temperature, normal lapse rate, temperature inversion, air pressure and atmospheric circulation, pressure belts of earth, wind system, planetary winds, local winds, monsoon, even Nino and southern oscillations, Indian Nino, humidity and perceptions, humidity basic concept, condensation, fog, rainfall, convectional rainfall, or orographic rainfall, cyclonic rainfall, air masses, frontogenesis, cyclones and anticyclones, fronts formation, tropical cyclones, temperate cyclones, anticyclones, classification of climates and climatic types, equatorial climate, savanna type climate, monsoon climate, Mediterranean type climate, China type climate, steppe type climate, Laurentian type climate, West Euro-British type climate, taiga type climate, tundra climate, desert type climate, Indian geography, philosophy of India, soils, soil formation processes, major soil groups of India, problems of Indian soils, soil conservation, resources, water resources, India's water resources, status, issues associated with water resources, conservation, rainwater harvesting, irrigation, need of irrigation, factors favoring irrigation, types of irrigation and irrigation techniques, issues associated with irrigation techniques, multi-purpose projects, biotic resources, livestock in India, issues associated with livestock distribution in India, potential of livestock resources, white revolution, marine resources, status of marine resources in India, potential of fisheries, blue revolution, issue associated with fisheries, aquaculture, land resources, land utilization, land degradation, issues associated with land resources, conservation, mineral resources, status of mineral resources in India, mineral belts and distribution of mineral resources, issues associated with conservation of mineral resources, energy resources, conventional and non-conventional, status, distribution, issues associated conservation, agriculture, silent features of Indian agriculture, problems of Indian agriculture and their solution, determination of agricultural cropping pattern, agriculture productivity, agriculture intensity, dryland farming, dryland farming, nature and techniques used, benefits and important issues associated, green revolution meaning, components, impact, demerits, problems, need for a second green revolution, industries, factors influencing location of industries, industrial belts, classification of industries, transport and communication, railways, roadways, water transport, air transport,